Okay, so I'm just going to try and jot down some thoughts. The consultant said that he felt the problem was more to do with the psychosis and schizophrenia rather than the psychological aspects, and it was the hallucinations that were needed to reduce in strength, and the primary effect of going on a drug like coilatopine, I think it was coilatopine, would be that anxiety would be reduced and the voices would reduce in strength. He seemed to be saying basically that without any intervention, the psychology stuff would improve him to a level, but not enough, and that it wouldn't make him better, whereas the drug would make him better, and when he came to come off the drug, it would keep the effect would be a permanent effect to keep him better. Coilatopine was the drug. I challenged him and said, would the antipsychotic drug increase sensitivity in the future? That would mean that when he came off the drug, things would get even worse. He said no, absolutely not. He said no evidence for that. He also said that there was lots of evidence that suggested that in the first episode of any psychosis that you needed to put in medication. He also said that he'd seen lots of kids go through this and that you needed medication to put through it. He said initially it would be 25 milligrams and could go up to 250 milligrams, no problem, of this particular drug, I think it was coilatopine. It was amazing that he came to such a conclusion so quickly, having had a 6 weeks assessment, and then he comes in for 24 hours and he suddenly knows enough to reverse this assessment. He was very clear that it was needed medication to address the psychosis, because what he said was, we have a problem here that is not psychological, it is psychiatric, and there were biomechanisms involved. The first part of the meeting was just general about how it was, and I told him actually, I said I was really worried about suicide, and he said, well, I don't think we'd be looking at antidepressants, and clearly that's why. And I said, you know, I said he may need to take a year off, and he said the claim he made was that you cannot take a year off when you're this age and do nothing. Your brain just vegetates, and the brain is at its most plastic state, and this is the wrong time to be taking any form of a year out. And I said, well, his brain won't be vegetating, he'll be doing work and he'll be doing therapy. And he said, not on the way he won't. So he does not want to continue therapy. So really, what we're looking at is, in a month's time, we're out of anyway. He's not going to continue therapy. Therefore, it's only a question of whether you get out of with a drug or without. Mum was clearly, obviously against it, was not impressed with his brusque investment banker-like manner. Too quick. This is not an area you can be quick with, because you don't know. Medication is a massive decision, and he's just far too quick. He hasn't even got his feet under the desk, and he's saying we've got to medicate.